Hello folks, Darren Spain here, and some of you have seen some of my other videos, and I'm very much into the law of attraction and the science of getting rich, and I love the way Wallace D. Wattles, who wrote this 1910 classic, I love the way he presents why we should want to be rich and why we should want to get rich and what being rich is all about. It's not a sin to be rich, but it's actually a blessing, and it's something that we all should be attaining or trying to attain. So I wanted to go through this and give you some information. We can go through it together. And every time, I'm telling you, every time I read this book and go through it, I get some new nugget of information, something that inspires me and causes me to grow closer to being who I'm supposed to be in God. And getting closer to being rich so that I'm able to help others prosper. And that's really my whole goal in life, is to pay it forward to help other people prosper. And that's what it's all about. But let's get into this, because we only have 10 minutes here to get through this. And I wanted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the chapter. You can read along with me. And then I'm going to give a brief synopsis or a summary of what we've read together. Okay. So this is it. I'm using a version that I got from Rebecca Fine's site, and that's down here. You see, it's The Science of Getting Rich with Wallace D. Wattles, and it's edited with a new introduction by Rebecca Fine. And you can get a copy of this and some other things on The Science of Getting Rich right from her site. It's www.scienceofgettingrich.net, and if you can't get it there, just email me and I'll send you a copy over, okay? But let's get right into this, and let's go to the first chapter. And the first chapter is called The Right to Be Rich. You have a right to be rich. We're going to go into that. Let me open this up a little bit for you, and we'll jump right into it. Okay. The right to be rich. And we're going to try to read along with this and keep up. I got to do the scrolling. Sometimes I lose my place there, so just bear with me. But whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. No one can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use. And he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them with. A person develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of things. And society is so organized that we must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all advancement must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is the development, and development, and everything that lives has an inalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. A person's right to life means his right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things which may be necessary to his fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment. Or, in other words, his right to be rich. In this book I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or contented with a little. No one ought to be satisfied with a little if he is capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfoldment of life, and everyone should have all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. To be content with less is just sinful. The person who owns all he wants for the living of all the life he is capable of living is rich. And no person who has not plenty of money can have all he wants. Life has advanced so far and has become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. Every person naturally wants to become all that they are capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. We cannot help wanting to be all that we can be. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. You can become what you want to be only, as we get into the screen here, only by making use of things and you can have the free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. There is nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life. And that desire is praiseworthy. The person who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal. And so the person who does not desire to have money enough to buy all he wants is abnormal. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body, we live for the mind, and we live for the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. All are alike desirable. And no one of the three, body, mind, or soul, can live fully if either of the others is cut short of full life and expression. It is not right or noble to live only for the soul and deny mind or body. And it is wrong to live for the intellect and deny body or soul. We are all acquainted with loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both mind and soul. And we see that real life means the complete expression of all that a person can give forth through body, mind, and soul. Whatever we can say, no one can be really happy or satisfied unless his body is living fully in its every function. And unless the same is true of his mind and soul, and his soul. Wherever there is an unexpressed possibility or function not performed, there is unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. A person cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, warm shelter, and without freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to his physical life. One cannot live fully in mind without books and time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, a person must have intellectual recreation and must surround himself with all the objects of art and beauty he is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, a person must have love, and love is denied fullest expression by poverty. A person's highest happiness is found in the bestowal of benefits on those he loves. Love finds its most natural and spontaneous expression in giving. The individual who has nothing to give cannot fill his place as a spouse or parent, as a citizen, or as a human being. It is in the use of material things that a person finds full life for his body, develops his mind, and unfolds his soul. It is therefore of extreme or supreme importance to each individual to be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich, for it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and humanity, for you can render to God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. That's the first chapter of the science of getting rich. And it's your right to be rich. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we go to these churches and we go to, hear from different people, and they say being rich is bad. It's a bad thing. And what Wallace D. Wattles is saying here is that becoming rich is your right. It's your inalienable right to be rich, because what that's going to do, and as we get into further chapters, what that's going to do for you is going to cause you to be able to give to others, to help others. And that's the most important thing. That's what he said in this chapter. It's an expression of love. The highest expression of love is to give. Well, if you have nothing to give, then you can't express your highest expression. You can't give your highest expression of love. Okay, so you should attain riches in order to be able to give and to show an expression of love. Yes, we can give love without money, but attaining money allows you to experience so many other things that you'll be able to express that love in so many other ways. You don't need money to show love, but if you have money and riches, then you can express it in a different way. I'm Darren Spain. My time is out. I'll talk to you on the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.